couple months ago I did a video on Hulshult, an upcoming retro first-person shooter. At the end of the video, I went through a series of games that are in the same genre. One of those games was Prodeus, or Prodeus, I'm hoping I'm getting that name right. From the footage of the game, it reminded me of Doom 2016 in terms of look and movement. Funny enough, going to the website, if you go to the team section, the game is being made by two people named Mike and Jason. Honestly though, bonus points for including dogs in the picture, very cute. Anyways, back to the point I was trying to make. If you take a look at their previous work, you can see somewhat of a pattern going on. They worked on games such as Singularity, the last Rayman game before making COD games, BioShock Infinite. Haven't played that one, but I hear it's good. Wolfenstein 2009, the reboot that didn't really go anywhere sadly. Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2, the only ones that I really like in the series of COD games. They also worked on Doom 2016, which is funny. They also worked on Super Lucky's Tale, a 3D platformer, which is not really my thing, but it looks alright from an outsider on the genre. They also worked on a Call of Duty Online type of game, which is a China exclusive. So needless to say, they've worked on a good amount of games. The music is also being done by Andrew Hulshult himself, so you know that the soundtrack is going to be a headbanger. I know I'm covering this game a bit late and the game is being released to early access on November 10th, 2020. I still would love to cover this game as it's probably the most conflicted retro FPS game I've played so far. So let's see what we got here. When I first launched the beta, I had to make an account. Now this didn't restrict you from playing the beta, but if you wanted to, say, play user-created levels, you had to have an account. Also, yes, you heard me right. This game has a level editor, kind of like Hotline Miami 2. So for anyone who wants to get into map making, or if you're already a map maker yourself, you can make levels in your spare time if you enjoy this game. Really good choice by the devs. I think this will extend the life cycle for the game when it releases. Also, there's a large list of options, changing mouse settings, changing keys, or if you're using a controller, you can change settings for that too. There's also some graphics settings, which for the most part are pretty good, though you can't change your resolution. The game is full screen all the time, and the virtual resolution is only to make the game look like it was made in the 90s. Leaving it at native just makes the game look modern. Screen overlay is another way to make the game look older, but doesn't work when you have the game's virtual resolution set to native. Oddly enough, a bug, maybe, that I found after writing is that when you play the game in native, the player's hands and guns look like sprites instead of models, which is fine with me since I prefer sprites, but setting the game's virtual resolution at a lower setting makes the hands and guns now look like models, which is a little odd. I tried to fix this in gameplay settings, but turning the use models instead of sprites off and on didn't make a difference. Not a big complaint, but just something odd I found. Also, you want to turn on sprint toggle on. I'll get to why in a second, but please just turn that on. Other than that, you got your audio settings all nicely set, and another tab called Unlockables. It doesn't do much in the beta, I think, but hopefully they'll explain what it's for in early access. After the options, we can start the beta campaign. By the way, this build is a work in progress and doesn't represent the final game. It's basically a demo and a basic idea of what the game will be, a rough concept pretty much. When starting a new game, you have the choice of many difficulties. This game has more difficulty options than another game I know. Anyways, you should probably start on medium or hard, but I'm a crazy person, so I picked very hard. You start the level in an airlock. After the airlock is complete, you're greeted to a hallway. At first, with the settings I have, the game looks pretty good. Walking forward a bit, you see the door says Boomers. Then the game says hold shift to sprint. I'll get to this later. You keep walking and it keeps showing words that spell out Boomers, are you ready? As if the lead singer of Korn is getting me hyped up for what's to come. Are you ready? Also, for you newcomers out there, people in the retro FPS community like to also call the games boomer shooters and call themselves boomers after the 30-year-old boomer meme. Just in case you got confused. After the last door is open, you're greeted to a checkpoint? Yeah, there's checkpoints in this game, which are honestly not bad. After walking into one, if you die in a level, you're just taken back to the last checkpoint, as that's how checkpoints work. I bring this up since most retro FPS games don't have checkpoint systems in their games, but if you want to fully restart the level, you can. It's up to you. Anyway, there's a crack in the planet's surface to show lava. You just jump to the other side to see a door that you can't open unless you have a yellow key. Lucky for you, the game has an auto map system like Doom 2016. Picking up one of these guys will show the entire level and places you can go. While a good system, it did take me some getting used to, as I wasn't used to the controls. I found it kinda odd that they set the map to T, but hey, at least I can change the key. After a while, you'll get used to using right mouse to look and WASD to move. Just don't look up at any point if you're far away from the map's layout. While looking at the map, you can see a cave that you passed by. Walking down the cave, you can see health pickups in a doorway. Going in, I found the key to the door, but as soon as I walked out, I got jumped by 2 demon or alien type monsters. I had to punch them in the face, but I died so many times, so yeah, highly recommend not starting the game on such a hard difficulty. Also, this monster type is basically like the imps in Doom, as they throw fireballs when you're far and scratch you when you're up close. After punching their guts a few times, I finally went back to the door. Opening the door, I found myself in a narrow crevice with dark, cloudy skies with the sound of thunder in the air. Also a jumping bit, which is fine, I guess. There's also an ammo clip below the jump rocks if you want that for the next level, I guess. I mean, it's up to you. After completing the jumping, you get an armor pickup and can leave the level. I would like to highlight the amazing work that Andrew did. While this level is pretty much a tutorial, the level's music does a good job providing a tone for it. Almost makes me feel like at any minute I'm going to hear something about Umbrella. It also kind of works like a Doom or many other games that have the music play in a very ambient way and only kick in when a fight is going on in the game. Really great all around. After completing the level, you're given a level finish, showing the name of the level, how many kills you got, secrets you found, deaths you had, and your finishing time. All of these will give you a final score. The score, if logged into the account you made, will show your score on a leaderboard and the highest scores. You can raise your score even more depending on what difficulty you're playing on. After that, you're greeted to, and I kid you not, a Super Mario World-esque level select screen. I think it's a little silly, but it makes it very different and sets it apart from other retro FPS games, since most retro FPS games don't have a world map and just let you continue to the next level. It's an interesting change. There's also a loadout screen to show you your health, armor, items, and weapons. I'll tackle this later in the video, but it's an interesting change. Next stop, excavation. I rode up what seemed to be an elevator with nothing but my fists. As soon as the lift stopped, I was greeted by the imp-like monster. Again this time I had to punch the shit out of him, and then after that I had to punch more monsters, but this time just brainless zombies like in Doom 3 for an example. Walking a little bit forward, I saw a pistol on the ground. The skies were brown and brightish. Also, I should point out, I really like the UI in this game. I like the idea of having a helmet on with my ammo, items, armor, health, and face, I think. As soon as I picked up the pistol, a zombie to my right started coming at me. Thankfully, this game allows headshots. I don't know if they do extra damage though, but it just looks really cool. Also, the pistol sounds fine. It kind of reminds me of a nail gun, which could be annoying after a while, but you can get a better gun later. Also, I guess the bodies just turn to ash. I'm pretty sure this was a way to reduce memory usage. At least it's better than, say, them just going into the ground or disappearing. I walked further outward to see the lava pond boiling and what looked to be a drill mining into the lava. Reminds me of, yet again, Doom 2016, but I don't remember there being lava on the surface of the game. Anyways, I take a corner finding a clip and a zombie waiting for me. After dealing with him, I jump the rocky platform to a lit room filled with a couple of zombies. I take them out, and a monster closet trap happens, making an imp come out. Of course, I had to be careful of them since I was playing on a harder difficulty. I move out of the cave to find myself outside again, but I see the drill-like structure having a green door. First, I've seen green keys in a retro FPS. Maybe Heretic, but it's been a while. Nice change though. A zombie comes walking towards me, but this time he has a gun, so it's a little more threatening. Took a few pot shots at him and grabbed his gun. Also, before we talk about the shotgun, I didn't know this before, but I guess pressing Q opens up a little menu with all your guns and how full they are on ammo by, I'm guessing, the bar behind the icon. The shotgun is alright for what it is. It holds 8 shots and max ammo is 30 as of the beta. It's pretty much a pump action. When holding right click the first time, it started to charge up to something. In my head I was thinking, oh, maybe it's a charge shot that deals more damage but takes up more shells. That would be really cool. Instead, it seems to be a fire blast, which if fully charged does do a fire effect, but it takes 4 to 5 seconds to fully charge. It also doesn't take up more ammo, but the amount of time it takes to charge it up, I could kill a zombie with like 2 shots. Also, the damage of the shotgun may vary on difficulty, maybe. I was playing on very hard, and sometimes I felt like I was using more ammo to kill one monster than in my head would take less than the other. I'll talk about this more when we get to the monster, but for now, the shotgun isn't bad, just takes some getting used to it, at least for me. I wonder what the other 3 shotguns are going to do. A double barrel and maybe a semi-auto would be pretty cool to see in the game. After killing the monsters in the room, I get another new weapon. Kinda odd to put 2 new weapons very close to each other, but not too much of a big deal. These new guns are called shredders. They look very much like if you took P90s and mixed them with the assault rifle. They're a pretty good upgrade from the pistol as they shoot faster and hold more ammo, but you can't undual wield them. Now don't get me wrong, I like dual wielding guns, but it's also nice to have the choice not to. Overall, not a bad upgrade. After grabbing my new toys, I open the doors to find myself a big open area with what looks to be a teleporter in the middle. Surrounded by lava below, rocky surfaces, and buildings above with the bright sky shining down on me. I first took a left to a hangar-like area. I opened some doors to find another room that seems to push carts or something around. It doesn't matter though, since as soon as I walked into the room, a set of shutters opened and a few gunners were ready to fire at me. Sadly for them though, they had barrels in the same room, so I shot them. Like, what kind of dumbass move is that? Walking down the hall, I see another room, but before I can take a closer look, a big monster comes running down the hall after me. This guy reminds me of the Pinkies in Doom, but more monstrous than Pinky. Anytime I fought these guys, it would sometimes only take like 2 shots with a shotgun, which is confusing to me since I had a harder time getting zombie kills with a shotgun. I think I was just missing a lot. Anyways, I take a peek and behold, a minigun. I ran down the hall to go grab my new toy, only to be met with a bunch of zombies and a couple imps in the back. I died a lot in this room. In another playthrough, I found a way to get to the minigun. As soon as I picked it up, a bunch of zombies and an imp spawned, but it didn't matter since I tore them down with the minigun, which uses the pistol and shredder ammo, which is a bit odd, but I'll get to that later in this video. As I moved up, after killing the group of zombies, the shutters to my left open and more of them spawned. Great. This would be the area I turned down the difficulty to hard, but in later sessions I learned to be better with one very easy trick. Anyways, I head up the steps to meet a gunner and a big guy who I usually take out with my new minigun. I go further to a nice little sandwich spot that I mostly jump around in. Really fun. I see the green key and grab it. Opening the door, I see an imp and a zombie, but luckily enough I reach a checkpoint. though if you just look out the window, you can see another checkpoint I could have grabbed. Heading into this room, I learned that not only do the shotgunners have the ability to hit you, but shooting them up close will insta-kill them, which is really nice. We reach back to the drill machine. I open the green door only to be met with a couple of imps and a new enemy type. Killing him, you'll get a new fancy gun, which is like a stun gun or laser bolts. You can shoot it normally to get bursts, or one big charge shot, which is okay for the most part. I mainly use it if I ran out of ammo on any other gun. Walking back to the door, I meet new monsters as well. Floating hellspawn and an enemy which looks like a big zit of lava, kind of like the Cacodemon in Lost Souls from Doom, but this time the Cacodemon-like monster seems to shoot lava, and walking over it deals damage, which is really cool. So you're not staying in one spot the whole time. Also, you can get an armor set up in the tower by pressing this button and riding up this lift-like parts on the drill. Nice to know they have these in the game. Going back to the area, you can use the green key card to lift a piston. Now I just need the yellow one. I head to my right and encounter 2 zombies. Also a nice little shield spot up here if you're interested. Walking out, a hellspawn shows up and tries to attack me. Thankfully, it only takes one shot to kill them, so not very hard, and then some leftover zombies to take care of. Pushing forward, I open a door that has 2 imps and a shotgunner. This room was challenging at first, but you get the hang of it. I take the lift and find a room which looks like they're trying to take my order or something. It's like a little window. I go down the hall to see another lava monster with a couple of zombies and an imp. I kill them and find an auto map just chilling by the cliff. Just in case if I missed anything, it seems if you jump into lava, you can go over to the starting area, which is pretty cool. Though I might die due to lava. I find another checkpoint and deal with a few hellspawn with my pistol that only takes 2 shots each. Looking behind me, though, is a cave with a big monster spawning and charging at me. The cave is filled with chargers and imps. I took the risky route after killing the first batch, only to find the rest of them waiting for me above. After that, I dropped down in a room with 2 gunners that seem to be in some sort of fort or post-like kind of structure. I kill the rest to find a rune stone, which when trying to figure out what it does, I couldn't find a spot on the menu for it. Maybe I'm blind or it didn't have a use in the beta. Then as soon as I opened the door, a charger came running at me. It took me a couple of shots to kill him. Also, you can play peekaboo with this imp right here. I heard scratching sounds coming from the other room. I walked into the room with zombies at the ready. Though around me were imps and gunners in laser cages. I was in for a fight. After dealing with the crowd, I saw that I got the yellow key during the fight. I opened the yellow door to find another room with imp cages and 2 gunners. After killing the gunners, a platform rised up from the ground and a button was at the ready to be pressed. In comes imps, shotgunners, zombies, chargers, and one more imp. To be honest, I died a few times here as well, but thankfully I moved past it to the next room. I saw the imp by the stairs firing down his balls. Wait. I took care of that, but shortly after, the swarm had spawned. This computer station was going to turn into a bloodbath. After a kind of surprising guess at the yellow door, I took the lift down to find his friends and another checkpoint. Though I saw there was an opening, so I took the chance. I went into the gap and, finding myself, the rocket launcher. The rocket launcher doesn't have an extra attack. It works as a normal one would do, but it's good for taking out some of the bigger monsters. Walking out the door with my new toy, a few imps were trying to stop me. I killed them and their buddy waiting outside. Also, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but there's a room with rockets up by this green door with a charger inside. Thought it would be important here. I took the yellow card and used it to lift the last piston. But as soon as I did this, the final fight ensued. I took what health I had left and opened the portal out of this hell. As soon as I finish the level, you're greeted with this. Thanks for checking out our short beta demo. We've included one more level to try out, so be sure to play that before leaving. Early access is this November 10th. Don't forget to check out the community maps and level editor. Alright, let's see what this last it's just a speed level. The last level in the demo is basically complete the level as fast as you can with just his shotgun, which, don't get me wrong, it's fun, but I can only play it a couple more times until I wish I could play another level or something different. On the bright side, the game does offer a level editor, as I said earlier, and some of them weren't bad. I really like the Doom ones, like remaking Hangar from the first game, that's really cool. But I'll take the last few minutes of this video to talk about some of the things I don't like, because I did say this game has me somewhat conflicted. Now, before I talk about these things, I just want to say right now I'm looking forward to the game and I wish it all the best. I was really looking forward to this game, but I have to talk about the things that make me feel really off about it, so let's talk about the first one, the weapons. I read in an interview with John Romero, the Godfather FPS, said that he would rather have fewer guns in games with deeper meaning. And this has really made me think about how guns are treated in games nowadays. For example, Doom's guns, while very few, but all serve a goal. Guns in Doom are tools but look like toys because they understood how to find that sweet middle spot. So let me explain. In Doom you have the pistol. It's known in the retro FPS genre that the starter pistol is the shittiest gun, so you want to find a better one as soon as you can. On Ultraviolence you can kill a couple of shotgunners and get the pump shotgun from the start. The pistol can still serve a purpose by taking out former soldiers or even lost souls, but later on you get a better gun, the chain gun. The chain gun uses the pistol ammo, so you can just use the chain gun, but the downside is if you hold it down it will eat more of your pistol ammo, but if you use the pistol you can control how much ammo you use, but it will take longer to kill something. Well, you could tab shoot the chain gun, but it's a chain gun, you want to hold that thing down, like what? Of course you can keep using the shotgun, but pump shooting every demon can take a while as well. Like if you could use a chain gun to kill a cacodemon instead of a shotgun, you would use the chain gun. You see how Doom pretty much gave you the idea that, hey, while these weapons are toys, they're also tools. It's easier and better to kill certain demons with specific guns. They gave their guns identities. I could tell you every gun in the first game than guns in Payday 2. By the way, I enjoy Payday 2, but this is true. When you just fill a game with guns and not make them different or give them I use this one for this guy and this one for this guy, then they just don't mean anything. They're forgettable. Unlike Doom's guns, which are unforgettable. I really wish I could play the song, but I already used the Korn one, so I don't want to take that risk. Another example is Doom's plasma gun in BFG 9000. Those guns use the same ammo but are used very differently. The plasma gun kinda has the same idea with the chain gun of shooting really fast but eating a lot of plasma ammo, whereas the BFG is used for the big crowds of demons. But you can also use them for the bosses. See, the Cyber Demon and Spider Demon both don't take splash damage, so it's harder to kill the bosses with the rocket launcher. So you use the plasma gun or even the BFG. It only takes 2 or 3 shots to kill the Spider Demon, so anytime I play Doom now, I don't use those 2 guns unless I'm really in a tight spot. Even the Super Shotgun isn't like the Pump Shotgun. With the Super Shotgun you can deal a lot of damage up close, but use twice as much ammo, whereas the Pump Shotgun can be used from long distance and doesn't eat much ammo. So let's try and see what Prodeus is trying to do with its guns. If we take a look at the loadout menu, we can only see the set of guns that use the pistol ammo. The pistol, shredders, and the minigun. The pistol has a nice fire rate and doesn't miss much. Downsides are, though, is low damage and low ammo in each mag. But it's the starter pistol, so understandable. Now like in Doom, there's a chain gun, being the minigun. The minigun has a fast fire rate and does a lot of damage, but the downside is slow wind-up time and uses a lot of ammo. Now that's understandable, but now we talk about the shredders that are just weird. They shoot really fast and do a decent amount of damage, but they use a lot of ammo, and you can only use both of them at the same time. I could just never get the hang of them, or understand them. Like, I could just use the pistol to take out lower zombies so I don't use so much ammo, and use the minigun to deal with the bigger guys or crowds. The shredders don't fall in place for me. This is where I started to think that the guns are more personal preference in mind. Honestly, it's not a bad idea. What I mean by this is, as I prefer to use the miniguns over the shredders, but someone else might find them more akin to their playstyle. Like, the devs know what they're doing. I just got worried that they added the shredders just because they look cool and nothing else, but maybe they're just not for me. Also, when I said that maybe they would add a double barrel and an auto shotgun into the game as the second or third shotgun slots, well, if you actually went into the control menu, you can see super shotgun and auto shotgun, so I'm pretty much called it. But what would the guns look like? Well, seeing how the pump shotgun works has a slow fire rate but doesn't use so much ammo and does pretty good damage with good reload times. I would say the super shotgun, if a double barrel, would act as a really high damage up close but long reload time and slow fire rate gun, since you'll be reloading the two barrels over and over. Whereas the auto shotgun will have a fast fire rate and good damage but use a lot of ammo. With this pattern in mind, you could see how future guns will act in this game. So all I hope for is a nice set of guns, all different but not mindless, if that makes sense. I was going to talk about the damages in this game, but I think I'm just missing my shots or just trying to kill shotgunners from long range. The only idea I have on damage is if you shoot a shotgunner with a shotgun up close, you might need to shoot one more time to kill him, if short range. Then it goes up by 1 depending on what range, so like 2 to 3 shots medium range or 3 to 4 long range, you get the idea. The one thing that I want to talk about is the sprinting in this game. It was confusing to me at first. After finishing the boomer intro, going into the next level, the walking in this game looked like I was running, at least to me, so I didn't think anything of it. So the times I would get hit and die, I just thought, wow, these demons or monsters have fucking great aim. When as soon as I figured out I was walking the whole time, I felt like an idiot. So I toggled sprinting just to click it once and run the whole time, which felt a lot better and made it easier to play. I kind of wish that the default walking in the game was a little bit slower because it looks like I'm running when walking, and when running looks like I'm hauling ass to the next health pickup. I'm happy at least they added the choice to sprint the whole time. I just wish I had known sooner so I could enjoy the game more, or not be an idiot and think I was running the whole time. Overall, I've enjoyed my time with this game, even though there was a few things I was confused about. I gave it another try to see if I liked it, and I think the more you play this game, you'll understand the song and dance of it. I keep comparing this game to Doom 2016, but it only really looks like it, and the guns really feel like it, if you understand that. The game was coming out to early access on November 10th, but they've instead set it to release on the 9th, where this video was going to be uploaded. So you're either watching this the day before or the day after the game's release. Sorry for the late uploads, it's been a rough year for the channel and me. Of course the game is going to be worth it for the soundtrack alone, and plus with the addition of a level editor, you can bet that with the right amount of love, this game will keep getting levels well after release. Plus it's a game being made by two people who have very cute dogs, so if you want to support a couple of talented guys, you can either buy the game or you can donate to them on their website. Anyways, I had a blast playing this game, and I wish the devs a very well received launch. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'm sorry that I haven't uploaded in quite a while. There was supposed to be there were supposed to be more videos, but as I started working on more things came up, and it's really not been going well. I'm hoping to get the last few videos that I want to get out at the end of this year. If not, hopefully next year. We'll see. But again, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please check out the game, and I'll see you guys in the next video whenever that comes out. So.